the ¡1 contender for Triple H's title at WrestleMania. But at the moment, he's got his sights set on a little payback against Y2J Chris Jericho.
If you ask me, he's got more guts than brains, JR. He's going to WrestleMania, yet here he is demanding a rematch with Y2J. And not just any match, a TLC match.
There's that damn sellout Jericho. I hope he's proud of himself.
You can't tell me that you'd do anything different if you were in his shoes, JR. Jericho wants to make sure his opponent doesn't show up at WrestleMania in any condition to win the World Heavyweight title.
That's right, King. If Triple H loses the championship, Jericho won't get his title opportunity.
Well, that's one way to use a ladder, JR. Wow! That ladder's like a battering ram, JR.
If one of these superstars starts to build momentum, it could be the beginning of the end of this match.
That's right, JR. You don't see a lot of matches won with one or two big moves.
You sure don't. You've got to lay the groundwork first.
So long, ref. Sweet dreams.
It's going to be a while before the referee gets up from that.
I almost feel bad for Taz and Michael Cole. They never get to call matches as good as this.
SmackDown's had its fair share of exciting matchups, King. I'm inclined to agree with you. There's nothing like watching.
He's going for the cover, JR.
He's not going to get the 3 count without doing some more damage first.
I hope these superstars can make it through this match without suffering a serious injury.
So do I, King, but this ain't ballet. This is very intense, physical competition. Good God! I don't care how tough you are. A chair shot is a chair shot.
It looks like these superstars are looking for an opening.
And the first one to find one will take control of this match. His opponent's down, and now he's sharing a piece of his mind.
He's going to have to eat those words by the end of this match, JR.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears have been shed in that very ring.
And I think there's going to be a lot more shed here tonight.
No doubt about that, King. These superstars are going to leave it all in the ring. You can count on that.
He reversed it. Jericho's so in love with the sound of his own voice that it wasn't enough for him to have an interview show on Raw. Yes, that was an incredible move. What strategy?
Strategy? He's not doing his opponents any favors with that table. This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated.
Look out! He's going crazy with that chair! I think these superstars have a legitimate beef with each other, JR.
So do I, King. I'm not so sure their issues with each other are going to be solved with one.
He's a 3 count away from a pinfall.
1, 2. Is that? No, only 2.
These fans can't stand it when he does this, JR, but I think it's great.
He's sure not going to win over any fans with that move, but I don't think that bothers him too much, quite frankly. The referee is down, and now there's no one to maintain order in this match.
Where do they find these referees, JR? They seem to be awfully fragile. I think these superstars are getting some feedback from the crowd, JR.
Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear.
These superstars are so unpredictable, this match could go another 30 seconds or 30 minutes.
I hope it's the latter, King. It wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit if this match lasted the rest of the night. He's a slippery devil. I never get tired of watching Chris Jericho in the ring. Every time he goes out there, a textbook reversal there.
So, JR, are you enjoying the match so far?
Yes, I am. I think these superstars are putting on one hell of an exhibition here tonight.
What's your favorite part of it so far?
I don't think it's happened yet. My favorite part of the match will be when you quit yapping and let me enjoy it.
Now, JR.
My God, the impact of that aluminum ladder on human flesh. It's not pretty.
What a counter!
I think this crowd's giving these superstars a piece of their minds, King.
Are you sure they can afford it, JR?
And we're certainly seeing the results of that strategy now.
I don't think I've ever seen a superstar who overrates himself as much as Chris Jericho does. He must think he's Elvis or something.
I don't know if he's any Elvis, King, but he's a very successful rock star. And my God, let me tell you, when a wooden table meets flesh and bone, the table wins.
I don't think anyone's walking away from this match unscathed.
No doubt about it, King. This was going to be hell on the anatomy for sure. I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week after week.
It's not easy, JR. There's no off season. It's not like you've got 6 months. He can pin him right here, JR.
1, 2, 3. Sounds like this crowd.
That's the match, JR. I could have watched it go even longer.
I'd be happy to see the coach.
Stop right there. What do you think you're doing, Jericho? First you orchestrate an attack on my #1 contender after your match last week. And then you double team him here tonight? And for what? A title match against Triple H after WrestleMania? In case you've forgotten, the coach is the general manager of Raw.
Interim general manager.
You beat me to it, JR.
And that means the coach calls the shots around here. So Jericho, Flair, get the hell out of my ring before I lose my temper. And believe me, you don't want to be in the ring with the coach when I lose my temper.
Looks like Coach bit off more than he can chew. I can't say I'm sorry to see it, but I am sorry to say that it looks like Triple H's henchmen are still running the show here on Raw.
What did Coach expect? Talking to two former world champions like that. If you want to order Raw superstars around like that, you'd better be able to back it up. Say, that gives me an idea.
What are you talking about, King?
I'll tell you later, JR. But first, I've got to give Mr. McMahon a call. Okay, Christy, Stacy, let's go through tonight's schedule one more time. First, we've got a bikini contest, followed by a bra and panties match. And then there's the Diva Talent Show and the evening gown match. And then you two in a pie eating contest. Oh, I love Raw.
I never thought I'd see it. Jerry the King Lawler as interim general manager of Raw.
Okay, girls, I've got to deal with some serious business here. I'll see you two later tonight.
Okay, Lawler. If you're about done hitting on the divas...
Hold it right there. First of all, watch your tone. I'm the interim general manager of Raw, so you need to respect the position. I'm not a jerk like the coach, but I'm not going to be a pushover like him either.
Fair enough. But what are you going to do about Triple H, Ric Flair, and Chris Jericho? I've taken about all I'm going to take from them. And if you don't do something about them, I'm going to take matters into my own hands.
That's exactly what I was hoping you'd say. Look, regardless of how I feel about you, you won a title match at the Royal Rumble, and you're going to main event WrestleMania. I don't like the idea of Ric Flair or Chris Jericho ruining Raw's biggest match of the year. So I'm going to give you a chance to do something about it. I've made a first blood match for you tonight against your choice of either one of them. So who do you want to take out? I mean, take on?
Well, guess who just sat down in the seat next to me? Raw's own interim general manager, Jerry the King Lawler. I didn't expect you to be out here for tonight's main event.
You know me, JR. I'm not cut out for a desk job. There's nowhere I'd rather be than behind this announce table, despite the fact that I have to share it with you. Besides, my last act as general manager tonight was to ban all other superstars from ringside, and I want to be able to enforce that if I have to.
Well, there's a man who certainly appreciates your efforts tonight.
Come on, JR. You know I didn't do it for him. I was protecting Raw's main event match at WrestleMania.
I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show, but I don't think that's it.
It looks like these superstars are looking for an opening.
And the first one to find one will take control of this match.
You've got to love Ric Flair. The Nature Boy doesn't let anything stand in his way. He saw that one coming. All's fair in love and war, JR. And I love it when this guy goes to war.
Whoever said that cheaters never prosper certainly never saw this man in action.
His opponent telegraphed that one.
There's absolutely no question in my mind that Ric Flair is one of the true legends of this business. I just think it's a shame that many of his accomplishments are based on he's a slippery devil.
Ric Flair's a 16-time world champion, JR. 16 times! There's not a WWE superstar in history who's done that.
Yeah, and if a single one of those title reigns didn't start with the dirtiest player in the game taking some liberties with the rules, I'll eat my damn hat.
It's like he read his opponent's mind. I don't think I've ever felt more anticipation during a match than I am right now, JR.
I know what you mean, King. It's hard to find words to describe the electricity in the air here tonight. I'm not so sure this one's about winning or losing anymore. I think it's become more personal than that.
Of course it's personal, JR. Anytime you step into the ring with someone who wants to beat you down in order to win, what a move! It's not hard to tell why that's his finish. Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's gonna go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extremely competitive match that could go either way.
You know, JR, it's obvious that the only exercise you get is stretching the truth or jumping to conclusions.
Well, judging from the shape I'm in, I don't appear to be doing too much of either, King. You're looking pretty fit, though, I must say.
He could hit his finisher right now. What a finishing move! I get chills every time. Yes! That was an incredible move! What?
It's over. Chalked up another win for that man right there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are just 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, and it looks like Triple H and his henchmen aren't done yet for the #1 contender. Aren't you going to do something about this, Mr. General Manager?
Now, JR, I told you, I'm not cut out for that corporate stuff. Mr. McMahon has appointed a new general manager, and he told me that we'll find out who it is later tonight.
opponent, from parts unknown, the Bull.
Jericho's so in love with the sound of his own voice that it wasn't enough for him to have an interview show on Raw. He had to go and become a rock star, too.
These WWE fans wouldn't support him like they do if he wasn't any good, King.
What? You're not going to win a match by insulting your opponent.
No, but having the crowd behind you can certainly get the adrenaline pumping.
He saw that one coming.
2, 3, 4.
I don't think I've ever seen a superstar who overrates himself as much as Chris Jericho does. He must think he's Elvis or something.
I don't know if he's any Elvis, King, but he's a very successful rock star, and he's a hell of a superstar to boot. Excellent counter. What ring presence.
It looks like they've slowed the match down a little, and I think that's some good strategy right there.
It certainly is. I'm sure they're well acquainted with the old expression, fools rush in.
Is that why you always seem to be in such a hurry, JR?
I think I've eaten a little too much good Oklahoma barbecue in my day, King, to hurry anywhere.
1, 2.
You think these fans have gotten their money's worth tonight, JR?
If they haven't yet, I'm sure they're going to by the end of this match.
Well, I don't say this too often, but I completely agree with you.
Well, there it is. That's the match. What a shot. Another 2-on-1 mugging by the game, and no one's doing a damn thing about it. Someone's got to take control of the situation, damn it, and I mean now. What the? That's Mankind. Here comes Mankind.
Mankind? Where did he come from? It's been years since that idiotic psychopath showed his mask around here.
He's a WWE legend. I have no idea why he's here, but I'd say his timing is impeccable.
There goes Triple H! What's gonna happen now?
And now it's the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart? I can't believe what I'm seeing.
This has gone on long enough.
Like I said earlier, Mr. McMahon has an important announcement to make tonight, and he can't be happy that Jimmy Hart and Mankind have just invaded his ring.
Ever since the World Heavyweight title has returned to Raw, it's been nothing but chaos around here. Raw needs a general manager who can restore order. So by the power of Mr. McMahon and this megaphone, that person is none other than myself, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
What? You gotta be kidding me! That loudmouth Jimmy Hart is the Raw general manager? I knew I should have kept the job a few more weeks.
King, you said yourself, that wasn't a job for you. Besides, Jimmy Hart has a long history in this business. He can make a fine general manager, in my view.
Now, Mankind, I want to thank you for showing up here tonight, 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. When Mr. McMahon made me the general manager, he warned me that I might need some muscle to keep order around here. And well, you were available. That's why I'm asking you to be the new sheriff of Raw, Daddy-O.
Jimmy Hart, when you asked me to sign up as sheriff, my first reaction was to respectfully decline your offer. After all, I've enjoyed a blissful retirement of boiler room maintenance, amateur taxidermy, and masterpiece theater. But having seen Raw over the last few weeks, I agree that it doesn't do this show any good to have the inmates run the asylum. And frankly, being somewhat of an authority on asylums myself, I know of what I speak. In fact, I have to agree with you that as an unstable, unpredictable, sadistic, 287-pound best-selling author with a bachelor's degree and 1.5 years, I'm perfectly qualified for the job. I accept. And as for you, you've got yourself a shot at the World Heavyweight title at Wrestlemania. As a matter of fact, I've got great memories of main events like that myself. But you'll have to forgive me if I can't remember exactly whose they are. And next week, as a special sneak preview, you and I are going to have a tag team match against the very same SOBs we just cleared out of there. That is, if they have the testicular fortitude to get into the ring against even odds for a change. So as the new Sheriff of Raw, I've got 6 words for you. Or make that 5, including one with a hyphen I'd like to borrow from a certain prickly acquaintance of mine. Bang, bang! Have a nice day!
The new general manager of Raw is Jimmy Hart, and his new sheriff is Mankind. And he's going to partner up with a #1 contender next week. Can you believe it, King?
Normally, I'd trust Mr. McMahon's judgment, JR, but I think those two running Raw is a train wreck waiting to happen.
It's all about the game. I know you play it.
So let me get this straight. That demented walking hermit crab, Mankind, comes out of some dungeon, and Jimmy Hart makes him sheriff of Raw because he wants to end the chaos around here? That's like trying to put out a fire by dumping gas on it. Everyone in this arena knows that Mankind and I can't stand each other. It should be pretty obvious to Hart, Vince, and everyone else that Mankind's just a bitter, broken has-been who's taking advantage of an opportunity to sabotage my World Heavyweight title reign. So if those two think they can just come onto Raw and start ordering someone like me around,
sorry to interrupt you, Triple H, but your little diatribe just seemed to beg this question. For a man who calls himself the Cerebral Assassin, I have to wonder how cerebral you really are. Seeing as how you've come out here to run your mouth about the new sheriff in town. And I hate to point out the obvious, but it seems that as of last week, Jimmy Hart is your new boss. And you can rest assured that the new boss ain't the same as the old boss.
so you think you impress me, Mankind? You think you scare me? I know you're about one concussion away from a lifetime pass to the nut house. So in case you've forgotten, let me remind you, I am a 10-time world champion.
No, I haven't forgotten. And I have to admit that it takes a special talent to win the title 10 times. Just like you must admit that it takes a special talent to lose it that many times. But since you like keeping track of stuff like that, you're in luck. You see, you're going to get a chance to add another loss to your record should you lose that title again at WrestleMania. You see, Triple H, Jimmy Hart saw the need to find a match that will not only keep your cronies out, but will keep you in. So I suggested a little match that I keep near and dear to my heart, not to mention my ruptured kidney, busted ribs and the incisor that found its way through my upper lip and lodged itself in my nose for all the world to see. So in case you haven't guessed by now, let me spell it out for you. Your World Heavyweight title match at WrestleMania is going to be a Hell in a Cell. Have a nice day.
Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania? Oh my Lord!
Poor Triple H. What did he do to deserve this? Hart and Mankind are trying to sabotage him.
You can't do that! I'm the World Heavyweight Champion! I'm the greatest wrestler alive today! I'm...
Mr. Socko! Mr. Socko! He stuck Mr. Socko right down the World Heavyweight Champion's gullet!
Somebody help him! Somebody stop that idiot Mankind!
Triple H may have gotten more than he bargained for when he decided to challenge the authority of the new general manager and sheriff.
Poor Triple H! I hope he's okay!
He's gonna have to be, King. The World Heavyweight title is on the line in a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania. And we're going to see a preview right here tonight.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, from Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing in at 260 pounds, Triple H. And from Manhattan, New York, weighing in at 231 pounds, Chris Jericho.
It's all about control, and if you can take it, it's all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pay. Who's gonna make it? I am the game, you don't wanna play me. I am control, no way you can shake me. I am heavy debt, no way you can pay me. I am the pain, and I know you can't take me. Look over your shoulder, ready to run like a Cleveland bench from a smoking gun. I am the game, and I make the rules. So move on out, you can die like a fool. Trying to figure out what my move's gonna be. Come on over, sucker, why don't you act me? Don't you?
The opponent, from Long Island, New York, weighing 287 pounds, Mankind. And the tag team partner, from parts unknown, the Bull.
No matter who wins this one, everyone's gonna feel the effects of this match tomorrow.
No doubt about it, King. But if you win, you don't have to deal with hurt pride on top of it. And it's been reversed. The submission is locked in. This could be huge.
Oh my gosh, JR! You can't go long without tapping out to this! I don't think there's going to be anything left of these superstars by the time they're done.
There may not be, King. They may well annihilate each other here tonight.
I think this one could go either way, JR.
It sure could. Until the referee calls for the bell, this is still anyone's match.
1.
I think Triple H might be the greatest.
You're not going to get him with that one. I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought this match would go at all.
Me neither, JR. I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the WWE.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, King. And it's that unpredictability that makes it so exciting.
He reversed it. If any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment. You're not going to win a match by insulting your opponent.
No, but having the crowd behind you can certainly get the adrenaline pumping.
4.
What a reversal.
5.
I never get tired of watching Chris Jericho in the ring. Every time he goes out there, he reminds me of why he's the first ever undisputed champion and has held the Intercontinental title more times than any other superstar.
I don't know how you can say that, JR. I mean, sure, Jericho's gotten lucky a few times, but that's no reason to admire someone, especially someone as obnoxious as... He saw that one coming.
If one of these superstars starts to build momentum, it could be the beginning of the end of this match.
That's right, JR. You don't see a lot of matches won with 1 or 2 big moves.
You sure don't. You've got to lay the groundwork first.
It looks like his opponent's going for the submission here, JR.
You'd be a fool not to take advantage of those injuries.
Watch out! He reversed it! He sure is, JR, and I think he got all of that finisher. He's a 3 count away from a pinfall.
Rope break.
A textbook reversal there.
You think...
If there's the submission, there might not be any way out of it.
There better be, or we're going to see a tap out right here. I can't believe he countered that one. I think we're going to find out just how much punishment the human body can withstand here tonight.
I think you're right, King. These superstars seem intent on taking each other to the limit.
I love that attitude, JR. Go big or go home.
Well, these superstars sure aren't going home until this match is settled once and for all. This is a classic matchup, King. I'm so glad the WWE fans are getting the chance to see it.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I'm getting to see it too, JR. I just wish they'd pick up the pace a little.
Oh no, this is classic old school wrestling at its finest. You, of all people, should be able to appreciate that, King.
Wait a minute. Oh man, I've been in this hole before, JR. This brings back some bad memories.
I can understand why, King. I can't even imagine the pain being inflicted here.
Jericho's so in love with the sound of his own voice that it wasn't enough for him to have an interview show on Raw. He had to go and become a rock star, too.
These WWE fans, he countered that and made it look easy. You've got got to ask yourself, how much punishment will these superstars be able to withstand tonight?
I don't know, JR, but I think they're pretty intent on finding out.
They certainly are. I don't know how it's going to end, but I can guarantee you they're going to leave us all in the ring.
He turned the tables on his opponent with that one. I talked to these superstars backstage before the match, and I don't think I've ever seen competitors so ready to get it on.
And that's coming through loud and clear here tonight in this match. He's hooking the arms. Could it be?
It is! A modified DDT! You don't see a lot of superstars get up from that one, JR. What a counter!
We could be looking at a pinfall here, folks.
2, 3.
This capacity...
Wow, these superstars left it all in the ring in that match, JR.
Here are your winners, the Bull and Mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's been one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. And the main event is about to begin. The World Heavyweight title is on the line in a cell. And this could be one of the slobber knockers to end all slobber knockers.
They're going to be talking about this one for years, JR. I can tell you right now, it's going to be an instant classic. I love WrestleMania.
The World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H. The 10-time champion seems determined as ever, regardless of his dust-up with Sheriff Mankind last week.
That's right, JR. He's still the game, and this is still WrestleMania. Triple H has gone into Hell in a Cell and survived before, and he can certainly do it again tonight. You know, JR, when I saw this match on paper, I wasn't too sure about it. But it's turned out a lot better than I thought it would.
I'm not at all surprised, King. I knew this was going to be a terrific matchup.
Oh, come on, JR. You're just talking through your hat. And speaking of hats, when are you going to get rid of that silly thing anyway?
Right about the time you stop wearing that crown, I would say.
You know, JR, I racked my brains trying to think of a single flaw in Triple H, and I couldn't come up with anything. It's like he says, he really is the only diamond in this business.
I bet I can help you out there, King. He's arrogant. He's selfish and self-centered. He'll sacrifice anyone and anything to get what he wants. He's completely untrustworthy.
There's the reversal. You talk about ruthless aggression. Look at the way these superstars have been going after each other.
They're not playing with kid gloves, that's for sure.
We knew we were going to see a heck of a match, but this might turn out to be... No. Go ahead and say it, JR.
All right, I will. I think this one's got all the makings of a bona fide slobber knocker.
I ask you who you want to win this matchup, JR, but it's been pretty obvious since the start of the show who you're pulling for.
I'm trying to remain as objective as I can, King. Quite frankly, I'd rather see a good competitive matchup than see a particular superstar win or lose this thing.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows you play favorites. You're always trying to kiss up to the fans by talking up whoever they're cheering for.
I've never been a kiss-up in my life, King, which is more than I can say for some people. I call them like I see them, and I'm flattered that the WWE fans agree with me as often as they do.
I don't know how much more of this I can stand to listen to, JR. You know what the difference between you and I-95 is? You can turn off. Oh my gosh! Thrown right off the cell!
He's got the crowd and his opponent in the palm of his hand.
That can change in an instant, especially if you let your opponent catch his breath. You can look at any professional sport you want, JR, and you won't find more incredible athletes than the WWE superstars.
You're not wrong, King. They compete every week until they are physically incapable of continuing. There's no all.
He sure is, JR, and I think he got all of it.
What a reversal.
I think Triple H might be the greatest superstar of his generation. I think that in the future, superstars are going to talk about Triple H the way superstars from Triple H's generation talk about Rick.
Excellent counter. What ring presence. He's got that submission hold locked in.
He sure does, JR. He might make his opponent tap out right here.
He's not going to get caught with that one.
These superstars are so unpredictable, this match could go another 30 seconds or 30 minutes.
I hope it's the latter, King. It wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit if this match lasted the rest of the night. That went nowhere. When I look at they just smashed to the cell. They'll stop at nothing.
Oh boy, here it comes. Oh man, that doesn't look good.
Talk about targeting a body part and picking it apart.
2, 3.
This capacity, and there it is. That's the match. He did it. My God, he did it. We have a new world heavyweight champion.
I gotta give him credit, JR. I didn't think he could do it, but he showed the world that he had what it takes to beat a champion like Triple H, and on the grandest stage in sports entertainment. Look, it's Triple H. He's climbing up the side of the cage. I've got a bad feeling about this, JR.
My God, what on earth can the game have in mind?
survive that.
This is going to be the shortest title reign on record. There's no way our new champion is getting up from that. And someone call a doctor for Triple H.
Well, you better call a veterinarian, cause he's an animal.